Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Money Monday. We're live again on this 19th of February. So come on in. We have about a minute to go. We're going to give folks the opportunity to sign into their computers. Make sure you have your pen and your paper. If you're on your phone, that's great. But we'll be starting Money Monday very soon. Tonight, we're talking about an idea versus a plan. Okay. This is something I casually mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, earlier this year. And so I really wanted to talk about this because I think it's such an important distinction that we need to make. And so I'll give you some steps on how to plan. I'll give you some examples. So come on in. Let's see who we have. Okay, we'll give folks another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get started. Let me not touch it. All right, let's get started. Okay, so once again, welcome to Money Monday. I'm Nakia Carter. We're talking about an idea versus a plan, right? And I think it's such an important distinction to make because so often we have ideas and we think that they're plans, but they're really not. So let's talk about it. So I wanted to look up the official definition for an idea and a plan. And so this is what I found. An idea is a formulated thought or opinion, right? Some synonyms of an idea is a design, a dream, or aspiration. Typically, when we're talking about ideas, we're talking about nouns. And we know nouns, if we're going back to grade school, is a person, place, or thing, right? A plan, on the other hand, is a method for achieving an end. And when you look at the definition of a plan, and I'm going to give you some more of that definition, you really have to look at the verb aspect of it because there's a noun definition and then there's a verb definition. The rest of the definition is a detailed program arranging the parts, right? It's a blueprint, it's choreographed, it's prepared, it's strategized, it's chart, right? Now, I said you have to look at the verb aspect of the definition because a verb is action. And so a lot of times when people have ideas, they think it's a plan, but it's really not. And therefore, it's never able to be executed, right? And so that's why you have people who have these ideas that they've had for years and they never materialize. And it's because they haven't put that verb, that action into use. And so they're just playing with that idea, right? And it's just still stuck up here. They don't know how they're going to accomplish that goal. So let me give you some examples. An idea is I need to lose 20 pounds for my class reunion in a few months, right? A plan is I'm going to go on keto. I'm going to work out 3 times a week. I'm going to be in a calorie deficit, right? That's a plan. An idea is I need to pay off my credit cards, right? I think a lot of people are there. We're all there. I need to pay off my credit cards. That's just an idea. Until you say, hey, I need to pay off my credit cards and I'm going to pay $500 a month for the next 6 months until they're paid off. Now you're in the planning phase. Okay. Another example is I posted earlier today that I need a social media manager, right? That's an idea. Like I know that that's something that I need, right? It's up here. I got it. Now I need to figure out what I'm going to do, right? So that's hiring somebody that's doing research, finding a SME, that's looking at my budget, that's looking at the timeline it's going to take for me to see results. That's all of these plans that I have to put into action and these ideas that I now have to execute to make sure that this idea that I have materializes into what I want it to be. Okay, makes sense? So good. When you're talking about an idea, you really want to focus on the action of it, the planning aspect of it. Okay. So now I'm going to give you some steps on how to accurately plan and how to successfully plan. Now it's 7 steps. These steps can be applied to anything. If you want to take a vacation, if you want to finish your degree, if you want to get a new job, if you have money goals, health and wellness goals, it applies to every area of your life. And I've used it for every area of my life personally. So that's how I know it works. Hey, Pat, welcome to Money Monday. Yes, Pat says she has a second account to wipe out these credit cards. See, you're planning. That's good. Okay, so let's look at how to plan. The first thing that you want to do when you're moving your idea to the planning stage is you want to set your SMART goal, right? And we all know that the SMART goal needs to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So using that SMART goal formula, that's going to really help you figure out what you want to do, how you're going to do it, so on and so forth, and kind of put that plan into motion. After you have your SMART goal, the second thing that you want to do is take an inventory. So where are you, right? Where are you starting from? If you want to lose weight, you're definitely going to weigh yourself, right? You're going to take your measurements because you have to figure out where you're starting from. You wouldn't just say, I want to lose weight and not know how much you weigh. So take an inventory of where you are. You can take an inventory. It might look like taking an inventory of how many months into your vacation and how much money you need. It could look like doing a money inventory where you're looking at all of your credit card debts and all the debts that you owe and figuring out where you stand. It could look like figuring out, okay, I know my review for my job is in next month. So these are some things that I need to do within the next 30 days so I can beef up my review so that after my review, I can apply for new roles, right? So figure out where you are, where you stand, take that inventory, because after you have that SMART goal in that inventory, you have a good starting point, okay? The third thing that you want to do is research. So what and how, right? What do you need to do to get from A to B, and how are you going to get there, right? So that may look like looking up different diets. That may look like looking at some calculators online. That may look like doing research on the roles that are available laterally or in a form of a promotion at your current employer, right? So research how you're going to do it. How much can you afford? What does X, Y, and Z mean, right? What gym are you going to join? What class are you going to join? These are all things that you need to start researching so that when you start crafting your plan, you have the information that you need to move forward. The fourth thing that you need to figure out is the time schedule, the timetable. How long is it going to take, right? If you know that your reunion is in June, you need to start working on losing weight now, right? If you know that you want to buy a house next year, you need to start figuring out, okay, what do I need to do in the next 12 months so that I can be in my home by 2025, okay? And then 5 is prepare. So get what you need. Anytime you're planning, there are things that you're going to need, some things more than others. So I'll use the weight loss example. If you're preparing, you know you're going to need fruits and vegetables, right? You might get a protein powder. You might get some workout equipment so you can start your workout at home. You may download an app to track your weight and track your workouts on your phone, and add your food that you eat, right? Your calories to that app. So start preparing so that your plan, once it picks up steam, it can keep rolling. And then 6, this is probably the most important step. You have to start, right? So after you've done all this work, after you've laid the groundwork, you got your little yellow brick road and you know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, you need to actually start doing it, right? You can't say, I want to lose weight and I got 3-4 months to lose weight and then you still eating whatever you want. That's not going to work. So the sooner you start, the sooner you can start executing your plan, the sooner you can start seeing results, the sooner you can start taking that idea from just a concept, just something you've been thinking about, to planning, to a planning phase. And now you're moving more towards success and where you want to be. And then 7 is to track and adjust as needed. So again, if you have a goal and you have your SMART goal and you know, you've done all the legwork, you've done the research, you've prepped, you've done all these things, right? 1 through 6. Now you have to track where you are and then adjust as needed. So let's say, for example, what's a good example? Let's say, for example, you know you want to pay your credit cards off, right? And you know you need to pay at least $250 per pay period. At any given time, you need to know where you stand with those payments. So have you made the last 3 $250 payments, right? And if not, why? And how are you going to make up that money? So track and adjust as needed. Now, let me give you an example. We're going to use, I want to buy a house example because that's the goal of a lot of people. So the first thing that you want to do, like I said earlier, is set your SMART goal. So I wrote here, I want to buy a 3x2, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house by January 2025. So my family can live in a home of our own, right? That's our SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, it's timely. Okay. So then the second thing that you would probably do is take your inventory. So what are your finances looking like, right? What is your debt to income ratio? What is your income? What can you actually afford? What is your credit score? What is your credit report looking like? Those are all things that you want to start working on in this inventory phase, and getting a better idea of what it looks like, right? You probably would think about your future self. What house would you need in 5 years? Especially if you are, transitioning in and out of different phases of your life. Maybe you're starting your family, or maybe your kids have moved out, whatever it is. This is the time to start getting that under wrap and taking that inventory. And then 3 is research, right? So you might start looking for houses in your area, in your city. You're looking at the average home price based on that 3x2 you want. You're figuring out how much of a down payment you need, if you can have any down payment assistance through different programs. You might pull up a mortgage simulator. Hey, Margaret, welcome to Money Monday. You might pull up a mortgage simulator on Google to figure out, okay, how much can I actually afford? You might be looking into new home buyer programs. So this is all going into that research phase. You're learning about the property taxes and insurance. You're picking your location. You're looking at schools. You're doing your research so that when you start getting your plan up and running, you have a clear idea of what you need to do. And then 4, you're looking at your timeline, right? And so you're saying, okay, I want to buy my house by January 2025. So how am I going to do that? All right. So I know let's say you need $10,000 for your down payment. $10,000 divided by 12 is $833 a month, right? So how am I going to do this? All right, let's look at it. So I need $10,000. My side hustle brings in about $500 a month. So that's $6,000 a year right there, right? And then my tax refund is normally $4,000. That's $1,500. My light just went out. That's $1,500. 2025, I filed my taxes early. So that means that I'll get probably another $4,000, so I can save $2,000. When you add all that up, that's $9,500. Okay, I know I need $10,000, right? So I'm short $500. So what can I do? Okay, so if I save an additional $75 per pay period, that's going to equal another $1,250. So you see how we're building our plan? You see how we're coming up with what we're going to do? We know what the goal is, and now we're coming up with what we're going to do, how we're going to execute it, what that looks like. And then 5 is start preparing, right? So what do you need? So Pat mentioned earlier, a separate bank account. Maybe you need a separate bank account for your down payment. So I'm going to put my money in a separate bank account for my down payment, right? And I know I got a trip to Jamaica in the summer. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that trip and get my money back, right? And that's additional money that I can put towards my down payment. And I can do a $5 challenge. And last year when I did a $5 challenge, I saved another $1,000. So that can go to my down payment fund. So we're preparing. We're building this plan. We're mapping out what it looks like. We're drawing a clear picture. We got a clear blueprint of what it is we need to do, right? And then 6 is start. So, okay, so I know I want to start. I got 12 months if I start right now. So I'm just going to start next week when I get paid. I need to have my bank account open by the end of the week. I need to add my savings to my written budget. So how I'm going to track my money, right? And I know each pay period, I'm not going to forget about my down payment because it's already in my budget. And then 7, we're going to track and we're going to adjust, right? So we're in February now. In June, you're going to look at how much you've actually saved. And you say, okay, my goal was to have $3,500 saved by now, but I actually have $4,000. Okay, that's good, right? I got $4,000. I can still keep moving. I'm building this momentum. I have more money for my down payment. Or on the flip side, your goal is $3,500. You only got $3,000. Okay, why am I short, right? So maybe I can move in with my sister and pay her such and such on rent, and then I can save more money. So that's how you start building your plan. And then as you're tracking and as you're adjusting and as you're pivoting, when you look up, January is coming, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, right? And you will have your down payment. You've already planned. You've already worked on it. You've worked on your credit. You have your money. You've researched how much you can afford. You've done all the things so that when January 2025 comes, you're ready, right? You're ready to close. That's it. That's all. Okay. So I think that a lot of people, like I said earlier, they really struggle with the idea versus the plan. Once you got the idea, that's good. That's half the battle. But you have to map out what it looks like, and you got to make sure that you are living life and life is not living you, right? You're not living the same life over and over and over, the same year over and over and over, that you have these ideas and you're actually executing. And like I said, you can use these steps for anything. If you want to open a business, right? Say you you're a great cook and people love your food and they're constantly asking you to cook for events, you can use these same 7 steps to help execute and move that idea from just a concept, just something you've been thinking about, to an actual plan, right? Okay, so I know I need my rental space, right? So I want to have my restaurant open by back to school. So that's August. So I got 6 months, I got 5 months, however long, right? And so this is what I need, and da 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 da, and I got to get this license, and I got to do that, and I need to do it in this specific order. And that's how you build the life you want. Okay, so I hope this helped you guys. Make sure you share this video with somebody that maybe needs a little refresher. I won't say they're struggling with the idea versus the plan, but I feel like so many of us, we have all these ideas and we never materialize. They never come to fruition because we're stuck in the idea phase and we're not acting. We're not using that verb and acting on it and executing and building our plan. Okay. Thank you, Sharita. Thanks for joining. I've been praying for you and your sisters, but I'm glad you're here too. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Money Reset with Nakia. I'm getting more consistent with my posts. I post a lot of great content over there. And it's just quick little bites, kind of like we do tonight, just short little posts. So I think you guys will like it. I love you. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Bye.